What's up, guys? J-dawg here, back with another goddamn fucking video for you. And this video is going to be a little bit of fucking cyanide talk. Got me fucking thinking because I'm telling you guys, leave those motherfucking comments. I read the goddamn things. And I saw fucking Mr. Legend himself, Scott Carroll, leave a comment. I'm like, holy fuck, he's watching my shitty ass fucking videos, already knows about them? Fuck yeah. And so I was like, fuck it, talk about cyanide shit because I'm definitely a cyanide fan, and even Hell's released some cyanide shit. So, figure perfect segment. Fucking and start talking about him. And it's funny because I don't know if Scott remembers or not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he does. Probably not. But I've only met him once. I met him and Mike once, and it was at the Hell's Head Bash. Was it 2016 that we did? Whichever one. I think it was. Yeah, whichever year they played. I met him there, and I believe it was Scott. Scott and Mike both bought some stuff from the merch stand. I was tied down from the goddamn merch booth all fucking day. Me, my wife, Reaper, and I think Reaper had one of his buddies, Dan, as well. Was that year? Or maybe it was a different year because I think one year Chase was at the merch stand. But anyways, it's just a long story because to the I think it was the first year, which was crazy. It was awesome being at the merch stand, but it was hot as fuck over there, and it was in fucking sane busy. You would have thought Elvis Presley was up in that motherfucker, like a line out the ass. So I was kind of like stressed because you didn't want, you got people everywhere. You don't want people like five finger fucking discounting you and just want everybody to be happy and keep the line kind of going, but because it's just so fucking clutter. But so I don't think it was that year. Maybe it was the year after or whatever. But I remember Scott and Mike coming by and buying some merch, and that's where I met him. And I'm almost positive it was Scott, not Mike, that he bought the Solstice box sets from. Solstice vinyl box set that we were selling. I thought that was cool. He's like, yeah, this one's one of my favorite bands, and because it was a big expensive item, and I remember even contemplating like when I was loading up the merch bin, like, should we even fucking bring this? It's like it's probably too expensive. Who's going to drop $100 or whatever the hell we were charging for it? I remember at a show, but we didn't. He bought it and thought that was really cool, and prior to that, I've always wanted. I've never seen even Cianide because I think I'm pretty sure those guys still work like two like regular full time jobs that've been there for a long time, and they only get X amount of vacation time. This is the story I heard. Correct me if I'm wrong, Scott, if you see this or whoever. And so they only do select shows, and they didn't do. I mean, prior to our fest, I mean, when was the last time they played Cleveland? I don't know. It might not have been a year. If it was anything in my time frame, I didn't hear about it because I would have definitely gone because I never seen them. I know they do shows in Chicago. There was one time I almost went to Chicago with Kanya and Dawn of the Dead. Maybe Nunslaughter was playing with them, or there was something else going on besides I was playing. I almost tagged along, but I didn't. But I always wanted to see Cianide, and I always wanted to fucking meet Mike and Scott because I always held those guys in the highest regard. And I'm not a fucking blow smoke up your ass type of guy. I mean, if I don't think something, I just don't fucking say it, or you know. But I just said because they've been around in the scene much longer than I am. That's why I say when I did my show stories, first show I've been to was '98. I still consider myself a newbie, is because I got legends like Mike and Scott. They've been going to shit probably by the time I was born, maybe before I was born. I was born in '85, so leave in the comments, guys, if you see it, and then when you start going to fucking shows. So in my mind, I'm still a fucking newbie. The real fucking old heads have been around way before me. And but reason why I held those guys always in a high regard is because you could tell that they're one of the old heads that still listens to metal. Me and Reaper had this debate on a Hellcast a while ago about, like, I don't know if I want to throw names under the bus, but just think of classic guys and classic bands, like great, great legendary bands I love. 90% of these guys, dude, they don't listen to fucking metal anymore, man. I'm telling you, they're not. They're going in there listening to fucking ZZ Top, fucking Leonard Skinner, goddamn Van Halen, just classic rock type shit. I guarantee you that's what they're listening to. And when they're around, just alone, in their car, driving to work, whatever, miserable, hating life, and just that's what they put on for their tune selection. Like, I don't do that shit. And I get the vibe. Mike and Scott, they still listen to fucking. I mean, they might like. I'm sure they probably, those guys are older, so I'm sure they like some classic rock shit too. But I can guarantee you, they listen to metal on a regular fucking basis. I truly like. I know that, and it's a fucking thing. They order from Hell's Headbangers too. Like, they actually still buy metal to this day. A lot of these goddamn old heads, I'm telling you, they don't buy metal anymore. They're not up to date on any current bands. I understand if you're not the big. I'm a little bit. I want to say out of the loop on current bands. Obviously, being the label shit, I see it coming through, and I like current bands. I don't like as many as like when first getting into this, when you're super passionate and you're checking out new bands. But there is still, like I said, like there's bands that come out that I do like and I do check shit out, as opposed to a lot of these guys, man, that the metal that they do listen to, it's the stuff that they grew up on. Like the most they're going is like Possessed, Death, and just shit where it's like, oh, well, everybody likes that. It's like kind of doesn't count. Morbid Angel, you know what I mean? But that's why, like with Mike and Scott, I actually truly think that they're real, true fucking metalheads, and I honestly I think that's kind of fucking rare, and that's a harsh reality, and it kind of sucks because even some of the goddamn legends in this scene, they're probably not really listening to this shit, guys. For the most part, they're not. I'm pretty almost positive they're not. So yeah, so I finally got to meet him, and that was cool as fuck. It was kind of brief. I don't know if they remember or not. Didn't get my picture with them, which I kind of would have preferred to. Like I said, I was kind of my, especially in the younger days, always did that. But yeah, that was my little story time of fucking Cianide. But Hells did get to work with them. The first thing we worked with them on was the full length. That shit is quite a while ago now. I'll show you the 3 versions I own. And then I own a CD, but I didn't want to drag out. I didn't want to drag out all the Cianide stuff I did because I actually own a decent amount of stuff. And to keep this video a little fucking too long. But the first thing we put out of them is Spine. Gods of Death, and it says on the spine, 2011. So, holy fuck, 10 years ago now. Because I remember when we first fix this goddamn camera. I'll chop it off my head. I remember when we first got approved for Cianide. I don't know if it was Dawn of the Dead that referred us on, because I mean, Dawn of the Dead from Dunstar too. Shout out to Michael Scott. Always speaks about them in the highest regard as well. So yeah, dude, I fucking love those guys. I've known them forever. Always wrote them back in the day, etc. And so maybe it was him that got us in touch with doing Hell's Headbreakers. I don't remember. Maybe they most. I don't remember. But I remember when I finally heard, I was like, holy shit, we're gonna do the next Cianide album. That's fucking like I was really pumped. And this was the one that we did 10 fucking years ago. No, 2020, 11 fucking years ago now. Holy smokes! Feels like it was just yesterday we just did this. And it's a nice glossy ass gatefold cover. Backside, I said gatefold. So it would be old heads there. Look, so that's Scott there and Mike. Not sure who that fella is. Just keeping it real. I mean, if it's somebody I know or I met you, brah, sorry, but didn't know who it was. Poster of just the album cover, but they all came with a fucking poster. And hell, these are probably due for some type of repress, which we did repress it once, and I'll show you that it was in a different color. But when this was, I believe this one here was the first pressing we did that sold out really quick. I believe it was just I think we did purple vinyl and black vinyl, or maybe we just did all black. I mean, maybe we just did all purple. I don't remember, but I bought a purple. Maybe there was 100 purples, 400 black, or 100 black, 400 purples. I honestly I don't remember. It doesn't say on here. So yeah, that I don't remember. And then there was 100, I believe 100 picture discs. And maybe that was maybe we did a picture disc a second time around. Because as you guys know, like I've said in previous videos, I'm a big fan of picture discs, especially of when they're really limited. I love it when pictures like there's 100 copies because it really makes it scarce and collectible and kind of like fucking goddamn, I would just really want to own it. Kind of like commemorate the fucking album on the actual cover on a fucking record. And you're basically never gonna listen to it, but you just love it so much that you just want to have it. At least that's the way I fucking seen it. So let me show you the picture of this next. I think this came out in the first batch. Comes with the same outer cover as the purple vinyl I just showed you, but it was just a picture disc. And like I said, I'm almost positive there was just 100 picture discs made. Maybe there was 200. Scott might probably remember. Whatever they requested or whatever we told them. Yeah, that was album cover and the boys on the back again. So yeah, I own that as well. Anytime we do a limited picture disc, I definitely always pick that up. I'm always pumped when we do those. I hate it, like especially if we do a classic album, kind of like a classic band like Cianide, which was a new album on time, or a classic re-release, like I say, the Christians and shit. I always vote, like my vote's fully in for we gotta do 100 pictures too, like we did on the Centurions and shit. So sometimes my vote seems to enter the fucking trash can though at times, and I'm fucking pissed it comes out and no goddamn picture that I was hoping for. But I believe this was the repress then and when I say repress, I think it was like less than a year of the one I just showed you came out. Either that was the first pressing or this one. I don't remember. Maybe I could have it backwards. So, but I wanted both colors totally different. This is just a splatter vinyl. This is my favorite one as far as colors. I think this one's the coolest. Again, this might be the repress, might be the original. I don't remember. But I want to say the purple was. Again, anyone that knows, like Scott or Mike or anyone that bought this back. I don't want to say back in the day, but at the same time, I mean, 11 years ago now, I guess it is kind of fucking back in the day. Just thinking about all the 17, 18-year-olds that are just getting into this, that are watching this and shit. I mean, think about it, say you're 18 now, fucking 11 years ago, you were 7 years old playing with G.I. Joes. You didn't even know about the cyanide. So I guess it is kind of back in the day. I know someone like Scott's probably laughing. I was like, hey, back in the day at all. That was like last month. Yeah, I know. I feel the same way, bro. But, we got to keep in consideration all the young bucks. Technically, it is 11 years. Can't deny the math. So that's the one we put out, and then we did a couple reissues, and I'll show you a few other things. Not necessarily that Hell did got. The very first thing that I picked up by Cianide, though, I'm going to show you my absolute favorite album. This is a record I'm big fan of just in general. Definitely my favorite thing by Cianide to this date. And we reissued this, I'll look at the year technically. Here's the original LP, and that is Divide and Conquer. This was the first thing I picked up on Merciless Records. I got this, this was in the early days of Hell's, and we did a trade or a wholesale with Merciless at the time. Comes with an insert. He didn't totally half-ass it. Because remember I told you guys back in a previous video, a lot of the LPs in the early 2000s, late 90s were half-ass as fuck. It usually just be a cover and just a record. You wouldn't even put the insert with the lyrics, but this one does. So happy about that it has an insert with it. Because this album was probably around 2000, I believe. I forget the exact year. Does it say on here? Yeah, recorded in January 7th through 9th and 22nd, 24th of 2000. So you figure it probably came out, I don't know, June, July, something around there, 2000. And this was the very first thing I heard, and I fucking loved it. Absolutely loved it. And this is what I own to this day. I have this and the original CD of this. I didn't bother bringing the CD over here. I did bring the Hell CD over here because I'll show for a little something else we released. And then just it was on a standard black vinyl. So yeah, that's my favorite thing, and that was probably because it's the first thing I heard. But I think this album, if you guys haven't heard this, this is a fucking death metal must, absolute must. And the second thing I heard of from them is the split with Nunslaughter. That's right around this time is where I just met Dawn of the Dead, and the Nunslaughter side was the for the song "Sickened by the Sight of Christ," and then the B side was Cianide was on. I was like, oh fuck, that's that band I just got the LP by because it was right around the time, or at least when I got that Nunslaughter 7-inch. And then Hell's did a box set, pretty much a box set. It's a triple LP of Divide and Conquer. It has like the demos and like a couple different variations of it. I didn't bother bringing it up since it's elaborate. I don't want to bring it all out. So I just bought the CD version. Both are sold out. We probably won't repress the vinyl because it's super elaborate. It's kind of cool to keep it limited, obscure. I'm not saying never. Maybe if the band wants to and if we're up for it, whatever, talking over the guys. I'm not saying never, but the CD would probably be more likely to get repressed over the LP. But the CD too is really cool, worth owning because it's got all the extra shit. It's a double disc, so it's got promo 1998 demo, original album mix, unreleased demo 99. So cool extra shit, that you didn't have with the original. I never heard this stuff prior to us doing this. I said double disc, guys in the back, booklet. Yeah, but even the CD sold out now. But I mean, a repress of this, I wouldn't say is out of the question. Unless the band says, fuck you guys, we don't want to repress, want to keep it limited, then in that case, it would be out of the question. But if they push for it, and, it's just one of those things. When you do so many releases, it's kind of like, unless it gets brought up, there's not really a whole lot of thought about it. You just kind of like move on to the next thing, right? And another thing, I'll probably just show my other two favorites of Cianide. It's weird with Cianide. I was more of a fan of their mid-tier. I always said later shit, but it's really not later at this point because it's so much older. Like I said, Divide and Conquer. I guess it's like middle of the road, like type of fucking of their career. Because the very, very early albums, the demos, and the first 2-3 albums, which I own. Pretty sure I own all that stuff. I own a couple LPs. There was like a double disc. What is it, like From the Ashes or something like that of all the demos. I like that stuff, but nowhere near as much. I actually thought that stuff was kind of boring, to be honest with you. I thought when they really started to pique my interest, what I like was the first one of the albums. I'm like, I really start to like this was the Death, Doom, and Destruction album. Here's the original, which we did. We reissued this too on a triple LP as well. Again, they want to bust that out too. It's kind of a little elaborate, so I'll just show the original, kind of show you original pressing type shit. Merciless Records, or what I bought as a kid. I got this, so I heard this second. Like I said, Divide and Conquer I heard first, and this is my probably my second favorite album by them. I would say probably my second favorite. But this was the first album as far as career-wise where I started like, wow, I really like this band. Because the albums before that, I'm just kind of like, it's okay. It's a little like, some of it's a little bit too doomy for my taste. I like death metal like a little bit more upbeat. So they were one of the few bands that I thought as a career, they got better. Because you know how like most bands, they start off like, the first album's great. The second album, yeah, it's good. And then by the third album, this fucking sucks, right? Or like it just gets worse, worse, and worse. You know what I mean? That's how most bands go. It's very rare that a band's like, they start off like, man, this band sucks. Not that I thought Cianide sucked, but you're like, this sucks. And then it got good and great. You know what I mean? Satanic War Masters was another band. Like, they're very early shit. I mean, honestly, I kind of don't like, I kind of almost don't even like it at all, to be honest with you. But I thought the first album I really started liking was the Carillion Satanist Madness album. Like, this is fucking great. And then every album after that I liked as well. So I thought that was another band that got better. But that's a rare case. It's usually bands start off and you love it, and then as it goes by, you're like, this is getting worse and worse. But Cyanide kind of in the similar category. Like I said, I thought they started off as an okay band, and then they became a great fucking band. This is an album maybe Hell should reissue this as well. It's old now. I remember when we first got these. Looks like it's on From Beyond, limited 666 copies. Hell's Rebirth album. This was the album, if I'm not mistaken, directly after Divide and Conquer. So if that was 2000, this was probably about 2003. Is that right, Scott? That sounds about fucking right. 2004, it says. Spring, summer 2004 was recorded. So it probably came out late 2004, early 2005. So again, that's when the 18-year-olds were born. So Scott's probably like, oh, that's one of our newer albums, right? And that's in my mindset too. But you do the math and you're like, oh, well, that's 17, 18 years ago. Not so new, right? Printed in her sleeve. That's what it came with. But I love this fucking record. But nobody ever talks about it. I especially love I love the intro. Fucking how it kicks in. My favorite song is probably the title track, The Age of Hell's Rebirth. It's a fucking great song, but the intro is so perfect. What is it? It keeps repeating. It's like, I believe in hell so strong. If there wasn't one, I'd ask God when to start one. And then it just keeps repeating that like multiple times. It just says, welcome to hell, motherfuckers. And then it just kicks in that killer ass fucking juggernaut riff. When I first heard it, I thought that was fucking awesome. And to this day, it's almost kind of like if fucking aliens came down from outer space and said, what is death metal? I'd almost play them that fucking track because it's just a perfect intro and it's just a fucking behemoth fucking kick in. I'd be like, aliens will, come down with their, tentacles and shit and speaking all their fucking gibberish language. What is fucking death metal? You play that, it just feels like I'd fucking kick their asshole into their stomach, right? That's what might be a good fucking first time track. But you never hear anybody else say that. But so yeah, that's kind of a little bit of my Cianide, and then we also did a mini LP by them, Unhumanized. Like I said, I didn't want to show everything because I got a bunch of Cianide shit. Like I contemplated maybe you guys want to see videos like that, but they'd be kind of long. It ran through my mind like maybe show you like all my like J-Dawg's Merciful Fate vinyl collection, not even CD vinyl, just vinyl collection. It would be long as fuck, and I'd have to give you quick flashes because like Merciful Fate, I'm looking over all my Merciful Fate records. I own at least 50 LPs by Merciful Fate because I have tons of bootlegs, different pressings of them. So I wouldn't mind doing videos like that, but would it be a little long-winded and boring? I don't know. Let me guys know. I thought about doing it for like bands like Cannibal Corpse as well, Deicide, and Hemorrhage, shit like that. Just bands that I got like every album by or stuff that I really love. Like I did. I don't know if it's posted yet, but I think I did post it. The non-metal video I showed you, like Misfits. The Walk Amongst have different pressings. A lot of bands I like that I really like. I have stuff like that, but like Misfits alone, like if I'll just show you my entire Misfits collection, I think I have. I mean, I have a shitload of Misfits, and probably about 50 LPs for them too, pushing 50 for sure, at least 30, but 50. I wouldn't even be surprised if it's over 50 records. So as you can see, that would take kind of a long video. But if you guys want to see types of videos, I would definitely consider it. But I have to sit there, pull my, because in case you haven't noticed, most of my records, guys, I keep in these nice ass, I think they're called Japanese resealable sleeves. Not all my records as well. I kind of ran out of these like a year or so ago and I didn't buy more. So some of them are in the, what's the record I haven't put away yet? When I did the video and I recorded this video. And so like the Summon record I picked up like last year, it's still just in the regular sleeve. So I didn't swap it out yet because, I ran out of Jap sleeves. So some of my records are in this, and they are easier to show to slide in and out. But the Japanese resealable ones, it's a little bit harder. So for me to do videos on those, it'll slow it down too. Because I'm just gonna grab the stack, and you know how I do it over at fucking Raw Dog, and I'm just gonna show it on the fly. I'm not gonna have it all fucking pre-opened. Okay, now hit record on the fucking video. No, you're gonna see how I do it. If I'm dropping it, and fuck, my shit's fucked now. You're gonna see it all. God damn it. But yeah. So I don't want to show every goddamn Cianide record and bore the fuck out of you. I just kind of show you my faves and a little bit of story time, a little bit of what HH released, and hopefully Cianide does another goddamn full length, and we'll be part of and put out. And if Scott's watches, what do you mean, dumb fuck J-dawg? We are doing it. Chase has the audio. Well, motherfucker didn't show it to me yet, so in case that's the case, because that sometimes happens. But I'll definitely be proud of be a part of it, because anytime Cianide kind of does something new, I'm definitely pumped to fucking hear it. Legendary band. If you guys don't know them, you definitely gotta check them out. Not just saying that because Hell's fucking signed them. I showed you that shit before even fucking Hell started that I picked up. Gotta have. Absolute must have. I think people kind of caught on to them because when we put it out, I mean, they sold really, really fast. So I think a lot of death heads know about Cianide. I mean, they're a fucking legend now. Been around since the 80s. Absolute mandatory. Gotta have it. Don't go to your grave without it. And that's it for this one, guys. See you on the motherfucking next one. And leave them fucking comments, goddammit. Don't forget, because I read them. Later.